Hi, I'm Natalie, and thank you for joining Round Trip Nap. Today, I would like to talk to you about cruise ship excursions. Now, I'm a very budget-friendly traveler. I don't do expensive or like high-end type tours or hotels or excursions. So if you are into something that's economical, I'm your gal. Feel free to please subscribe and follow me on the other app, the book. But since you're here, let's get to it. Cruise ship excursions are very high. I'm sure you've seen that on the app that you're looking at. I'm sure you've seen it in the booklets on board. They have a tendency to make us nervous or give us anxiety by saying, hey, if you don't do this tour with us, you're going to get left. Or, you know, you may not get back to the ship safely. I don't want you to feel that that is always true. A lot of the times they're using the same operator that has another employee right outside the port when you get off the ship. And that is a fact, Jack. There are plenty of places that have cabs. They have where they have to register inside to be inside the port. So as an example, in Limon, Costa Rica, they kept saying, oh, it's so dangerous. And, you shouldn't take the kids out. Because I took my son and my 6-year-old granddaughter this last time on Celebrity Constellation. And one of the gentlemen on board was just trying to warn me, well, we've been going there since before I even had children. My oldest is 22. So you can't always just say, hey, something is dangerous because you don't know enough about it or you've never been right outside the port area. Okay. So for example, in Limon, they give you this paper. Once you pay, they have you write down your name and cabin number, and they have to give that to the port authority before they leave. So therefore, they have to bring you back. They have to be on time. Another thing I want to mention is this is their livelihood. This is how they make money, how they feed their families, how they live, how they pay for their education. So they're not going to leave you and just say, oh, okay, hey, too bad. There's also the fact that cruise ship excursions are double and triple the price most of the times. So when you're dealing with the operator themselves, they're getting that money directly and wholly. Okay, there's no cut for the middleman. There's no cut for the cruise ship for the same company that you're going to use if you walk right out the door. Now, in some countries, they do have it gated off, so that way those operators are right outside. If you are more comfortable with going with other people, as you're approaching those people, just simply say, hey, your fellow cruisers, what do you all have planned to do? Would you mind joining a tour together? Or, let's work on this together, or something like that. That's what we do. If we have not planned anything in one of the Facebook groups that we're a part of, then we walk out and we wait for other people to start talking to them, or we wait for them to walk around and look around like, hey, what's going on over here? And we'll say, hey, what did you guys have planned to do today? And so we get together with them. That's perfect for Livorno. If you want to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Duomo, whatever, that is what you want to do. You get out right off the ship, you walk up to the cabbies, or you wait around. There's a little area right there. You wait around for other people to walk up and you negotiate. Okay. So say they're like, oh, well, $75 a person round trip. And you say, well, if we get 6 people or 8 people together, how about 60? Okay. And and if they say no, walk away and go to the next person, because they're guaranteed there's somebody standing there listening, waiting for him to decline your offer so that they can pick you up and take you. When you do things like that, you pay afterwards. So you think they're going to leave you somewhere and they don't have any money? They took you all the way over there for free? They will not. So you pay when you come back, and that's another guarantee you're going to get back to the ship and get back to the ship on time. Remember, they're not going to get paid, especially when you're doing these long ports, going out somewhere. That's their money for today, and they depend on that. So they're going to want their money. And what does that mean? They're going to get you back. Okay, so let's move on from that. There is also Facebook groups. So when you're joining after you booked your cruise, and I say booked because it is very weird for people who are not booked on a cruise specific sailing to be in that group. We know you're there because you sit there quietly, you don't say anything, and you absorb everything up. That's what the main groups are for. So these groups, when you put in your cruise date, the ship name, that's the group you add, and then you join activities with those people. A lot of people do pub crawls, they do slot pulls, they do cabin crawls, which is a favorite. I love doing cabin crawls and the slot pulls. And then they also put tours together. Feel free to join in on one of those tours. Those people, if they didn't do all the research that you would like, feel free to do your own and then join on with their, I personally do that. I've been doing that for years. I'll pay for the deposit and then have everybody pay me back, say like $5 or $10 via PayPal. That way they don't just like back out. For some reason, it's like that little bit of money people won't back out, but we pay the day of. So I know people go on certain websites and they pay for their excursions in full. I do not do that. I just refuse. I want to pay the day of our tour just to ensure that we're going to get back and we get what we paid for, and what is offered is given. Okay. So if anybody wants payment in full, just kindly suggest that you send them a deposit and you pay the rest the day of the tour. If they decline, then I would look for other options. Okay. So I'm hoping that's helpful to you. Also, when traveling with children, there are plenty of places, especially Europe, where you do not pay for the children to go into the museums or activities. So if you book a cruise line excursion, you're still paying for them to go in because they just give you like maybe $10, $20 off. I noticed this last sailing I did. The price for the kids was like $10 less. And I'm like, no, it should be a lot less than that, especially since the place they were going, there was no charge for the kids. Also, Pearl Harbor. We are doing another Trans-Pacific cruise, and there are people paying a ton of money to go to Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor is free. And when I say free, I mean zittily zat free. If you book online, it's $1 for the online processing fee, but tickets are free to see the USS Arizona Memorial. Okay, it's free to take the boat ride over for the movie before and the actual memorial site there. Okay, the only thing you pay for is the headphone tour that takes you around. But if you do your research beforehand and look, or you can even print yourself out a paper or look at it online as you're walking around the area. There's plenty of plaques that tell you what happened, where it happened, and it shows you then versus now. Those are everywhere. And there's also people you can ask. You don't have to pay for the audio tour, which if you do, that's the part that you're paying for. And then guess what? You're paying the cruise line. So say you're getting off in your ship in Hawaii, or you're sailing to Hawaii, you can rent a car that day. If that's something that's feasible for you, a lot of the times there's a lot of discount car rental websites. I won't say what one is because I use that a lot and I don't want it to blow up. But I mean, you can get a car for like $35 and we're in 2023. So that's good. Okay. Consider that. And then plus, after you see the memorial, I'm speaking of Hawaii still, you can go around the island, go to North Shore, get a shave ice, get some coffee. Oh, beautiful, beautiful day. And it could be less than $100 for your family. Okay. So there's also places when you get off in the cruise ports that you could just simply walk around. Auckland is wonderful for that. We absorb so much in Auckland from just going to little different eateries, and the architecture, just beautiful. We didn't book a tour at all there. We didn't need to. There was so much to see around the city, and we like to peek our heads into different pubs and the churches, respectfully. So consider things like that too. Also, Bay of Islands in New Zealand. We got off the ship, went straight into town, and there's a lot of, once you take the shuttle into town, there's plenty of operators there. They take you the ferry over to Perry. There's, you can go over and do the glowworm caves. And let me say that again so you understand. The glowworm caves. That one was a waste of money. I hate to be negative about that, but I'm going to keep it real. I would not recommend that to anybody. I was looking forward to that for years. I mean, I had a glowworm growing up, so I was so excited. And then when we got there, I was just like, okay. It's suspicious from the get-go once you arrive on the property. The way they talk and tell this story, and it's just, I just wouldn't recommend it. So I don't know why I went off on that rant. I guess I'm just so disappointed still, even though the tour was only $60 a person, but 65, and that was New Zealand. But yeah, so just consider that it's not always going to be a wonderful experience, but we still had a good time. It was a beautiful ride. That's it. So consider doing your own tours, do your own research. And if this video was helpful, please subscribe, like, and share. I will be adding more videos of the cabins that we've done, the cabin crawls, of the ports and the port operators. I enjoy doing that. As soon as I get off, I start filming the operators and what they offer and things like that. So I think I'm going to do a couple short videos, or just lump them into, hey, French Polynesia or Europe and things like that, to make it easier for people to find. I'm still trying to figure that one out. So, but I want you to enjoy your day, and I thank you for watching. And hey, believe in yourself, you can do it. Enjoy your day, because you'll never get it back. Bye.